Are you feeling misunderstood in your relationship? Like you're not heard? Like everything you speak about is just brushed off? You're trying to make progress, you're trying to break through, you're trying to say it in a bunch of different ways to get through to your partner, and they just don't hear what you're saying? Or are you the person who constantly feels like there's pressure, like nothing is ever good enough? Everything you do leads to the same outcome of not being good enough. You might just be playing this game that you didn't even know. And I'm about to break it down and show you how to get out of it, to save your relationship. What's up, guys? My name's Mitch, and I help make spirituality practical so that you can apply it to manifesting your dreams. And I want to speak to you today about hide and seek. Might sound silly, like a child's game, but this is really important. This is one of the worst toxic games that you can play in your relationship. And I'm going to explain each side of the coin so that if you're on one side, you can understand your partners better, or just help you understand where you are and how to fix it. So starting off with hide and seek as a game, as a concept. What's the game? Someone goes and counts, someone runs away and hides and waits to be found. So either you're the hider or you're the seeker, but both come with toxic baggage that you need to get rid of. And the fundamental one is unworthiness. It's a lack of worthiness that you're actually dealing with. It deals more with worthiness than any other issue that you may be having. So both of people in this is a worthiness game, worthiness issue. If you're the seeker, you're sitting there putting so much pressure on your partner for things to happen so that you can feel good, that it gets frustrating because it never breaks through. They never change their behavior. It always goes the same way. So you need to put distance between you two so that you can figure things out. You'll turn off your phone. You won't answer texts. You won't return calls. You need an hour or a day or 2 days to get out of it so that they can realize what they've done and that you can get over your emotions, and then you run back. And what you're hoping for in this, and this is the toxic behavior, is that when you run back, they're there with open arms. I understand your point. I'm so sorry. I should have done this. I should have done that. And you can hug it out. And that's the euphoria you're looking for. That big high, that intensity. That's what you want to feel in the relationship. What you don't realize is that it doesn't come from creating an issue and then solving it. A lot of us go through this. So why do I know how to speak about these points? I've played both sides. My girlfriend and I were together for a long time, 4 years before we had a 1.5 year break. We're now back together and things are great. It's because we stopped playing this toxic game. And I played both sides. You may be playing both sides depending on the situation. Next is the hider. What do you do as the hider? What does your partner do being the hider? They sit there and they feel unworthy. And it's a constant issue that they need to walk away and they go separate. And then you must come back. And what they're doing is actually waiting for you to do it. But they are self-righteous. They can be very self-righteous. They are the only one who's correct. The ball's in your court and you need to come to fix the issue. That's a typical behavior of a hider. They're the victim, always under attack. You always have a problem. Some of the things they might say. Nothing is good enough. There's high expectations. I need you to come and fix this. Both sides share a lot of these. Now what's happening as the hider is you're sitting and feeling that your worth is not there unless someone is actively chasing you. And when they do, you feel worthy. And as the seeker, your worthiness is felt by when you finally come around that they're waiting for you. What it does is it sets rules that are unfair on each other. It's toxic. You set this game arena that you're allowed to play in. And this game arena, if anyone goes out of it, it's a problem. Because that's how you feel worthy, is by playing this toxic cycle. Now let me give you signs of somebody breaking out of the game. If you're the seeker and you can't find them, so you go back and you go, I'm so sorry. I want to fix things, this, that, the next. I'm sorry I didn't return your calls. I needed space. I needed time. And they're like, I'm not up for it. I don't have the time for this anymore. They've left the game. And you're left with the questions as the seeker. Why weren't they still in the arena ready for me to find them? Do I mean that little? Am I not important enough? You're left with those issues that you need to solve. If you're the hider and you're waiting and they just never come around, and eventually you go and you say, hey, where have you been? And they're like, I'm done with this game. They've left it. They've left the game. You don't want it to get to this point. You don't want it to get to the point in your relationship where you're playing the game and the other person is gone. It hurts. It sucks. And it means that they've found their worth and you haven't. And the questions you're left with are always related to worthiness. I don't know how to stress this enough. It's self-worth. Now I'm going to show you how to fix it, depending on which side you're on. If you're the seeker, start dealing with your issues like right in front of you. Head first. Tackle your issues. What about their behavior is not making you feel worthy? What are they doing that's not making you feel good? What are they doing wrong? You're blaming. So what are they doing wrong that is making you feel unworthy? Write it down. Come to terms with what they're doing that's making you feel this way. And then move on to, once you've figured out what they're doing, go and write a list of how many of those things you actually need to feel good about yourself. How many of those things are going to change your view of yourself? You might think, oh, well, some of them, nothing that they do is going to make you feel worthy. This goes for both sides of this coin. Nothing that someone else does is going to ever make you feel worthy. And playing this game so that you can feel worthiness is kind of, it's kind of sick. It's not right to play this game. So I'm going to go into hiding. If you're the hider and you want to feel worthy, stop waiting to be chased. It's not a fair expectation of your partner to constantly chase you, that you keep running away and they must constantly fight for you. How are they meant to feel good in their relationship if they aren't enough the way they are? You can see how it's the same issue. You can see it's a worthiness issue. So how do you fix as a whole the worthiness issue? Stop making it based on someone else's actions. Why is your worthiness determined by the behavior of someone else? How is that ever going to be sustainable? You can see where this is starting to wrap up together. So what you have to do is make a decision of your self-worth. Let me show you how worthy you are. You have a life on earth that you can experience joy, you can experience excitement, you can experience good things. You must be worthy. Or else how would a world be created with you being conscious to enjoy things? So it's a decision. It's not a proven thing. Worth is not proven, it is decided, it is chosen. So this is a big thing I want you to keep saying to yourself. It will help hugely. I'm worthy because I said so, because I choose it, not because I've proven it. Not everything is about proof. We can look at cryptocurrency. It's actually a really great way to look at it. Ethereum moved from proof of work to proof of stake. Its value is now predetermined. It is valuable. End of story. Before, it had to be mined to prove its worth. If you didn't know about cryptocurrency, there's a little bit of a tip. So these are the things you need to fix. Now, always come to awareness. Awareness is the biggest part of your job. If you are aware, you can be the observer and you can see the gift you've been given in that person. No person is completely bad, or you wouldn't be there. And no person is completely good, because no one's perfect. So stop expecting so much of other people. How would you feel if other people expected you to always be perfect? How would that make you feel, the responsibility of always having to be perfect for your mom, for your father, for your brother or your sister or your partners or your cousins or your in-laws? How the hell would you feel constantly having to live under the expectation of perfection? It's a hell of a responsibility that no one can live up to. So stop expecting it from your partner, and then stop expecting it from yourself. Allow people to make mistakes. It's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of what they're feeling. So the same way you are doing one of these things and they're both wrong, forgive yourself when you forgive them. Allow mistakes. That's the biggest thing I can tell you, is allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to be imperfect. Choose that you're worthy. Become aware, and you'll change everything. So in that order, what is next is awareness. How do you become aware? I'll show you a really great technique. And this technique is where you connect with all 5 of your senses. And it helps manifest a different life. But it will also help you get into the state of the observer, so that you can be grateful for your partner and get the hell out of your head, where you're overthinking everything and creating a million expectations. You're going to want to stick out learning about this awareness. It's not a long thing that you have to do, and I'm not going to speak about it very long. So just stick with this, and this is going to make a huge difference. Try it now. If you're having an issue with your partner, I want you to write the issues down, list them. Then move on to which you can solve by yourself, and you realize it's most of them. And then forgive them and stop expecting them to be perfect, then forgive yourself. Okay, so you process this information on paper, write it down, should take you 2 minutes. And then you're going to connect to your 5 senses. So the first one is sight. Look at 3 things, not what they are, but the distance between you and them. So I'm looking at the camera right now, and I'm becoming aware of the distance just with my sight. And the TV, there's a TV there. We've got paintings on the wall. Become aware of the distance, then close your eyes. Now you're going to move to sound. What do things sound like? Not what is the sound I'm hearing, but what are the close sounds? What are the far sounds? Again, become aware of the distance between you and the sound source. So become aware of the distance with the closest noise. Maybe it's like the bed sheets. If you're laying on a bed, you might hear the sheets. That's a close sound. Then you might hear a car driving past in the street. Then you might hear the wind. Just identify 3 things and how far you are from them. Then you move to smell. Just in 3 deep breaths, become aware that you have the ability to smell, to identify things through smell. So you just, wow, I have an ability to actually smell something right now. Taste, same thing. 3 breaths and become aware that you have the ability to taste. And then feel. Realize that your whole body has the ability to feel. Once you've done that, you want to just 3 deep breaths again in that aware state, connected with all of your senses, and open your eyes. And you'll realize the thoughts that are causing your problems, telling you you are unworthy, are a lot quieter. And then look at your partner, not in person, but think of your partner, and think about 3 or 4, maybe 5 things that you're grateful for with who they are. And you'll realize you are worthy. You'll feel it. You'll feel, I don't need them to prove my worth. Here's the magical tip, the magical cherry on top of the cake or ice cream. Here's the magical juju that you want to remember. If you choosing to feel worthy within yourself makes someone leave, it is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection that you are good enough and that person doesn't resonate with that anymore. So if you decide you're good enough and worthy and someone leaves your life or leaves the relationship, even friends, if you come to this decision that you're worthy and they go, they're not a part of this picture where you are worthy. So either way you win, because someone will come in that is a reflection of your worthiness, that they will leave, or whichever you are, the other one will raise their frequency, raise their vibration, and join you on that. I'd love to know in the comment section what you're struggling with. Get specific, and I'll help you understand this in a deeper way to really fix your relationship, to help get out of this worthiness game. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you, and I will respond. If you like this video, please leave it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel to see whenever I release more information about making spirituality practical to change your lives and manifest your dreams. Mad love.